Hi, everyone. Welcome to Secrets. Before we get into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you like raw, unfiltered opinions and the kind of truth that makes folks squirm a little. So, let's talk about Stephen A. Smith, the self-proclaimed authority on everything from sports to politics, who somehow manages to sound loud, confident, and completely uninformed at the same time. Now listen, I've tolerated Stephen A. for years when he was just screaming about basketball. You know, the usual theatrics, veins popping, finger pointing, acting like he's fighting for his life on First Take. It's entertainment. We get it. But lately, he's decided to start dabbling in politics, and that's when the clown show really began. Because here's the thing, being passionate doesn't make you smart, and yelling doesn't make you right. Stephen A. went on this whole rant about Representative Jasmine Crockett, a sitting congresswoman from Texas, one of the few people actually fighting for her constituents, and he had the nerve to scold her for calling out corruption and disrespect. According to him, she should learn how to maneuver and get things done instead of being disrespectful.
Let me tell you what gets me annoyed. And I hope Jasmine Crockett is listening to this. And by the way, she's welcome on the show. When you go on national television and you calling the president of the United States out of his name, and you're being all disrespectful, as a representative in this country, do you believe the citizens of Texas sent you there to do that? They don't like him either. I'm talking about those who voted for her in all likelihood. But because he is who he is and he is in that position, they expect you to go to Capitol Hill and figure out a way to maneuver yourself through that terrain to work in a fashion that's going to facilitate getting things done on behalf of your constituents. That's your job. That's your job. Excuse my language.
Anybody does need to clean up DC, I would agree it is this man, because he is the one that is causing half the crime that we have. Not only is he participating in the crime, but we know that he instigated the insurrection. And if I did say that I had one issue with the Biden-Harris administration, it is the fact that they did not move forward and make sure that this man was put where he should have been put. Because the last time I checked as a criminal defense attorney, and Mr. Attorney General, you may have a different experience, but I never had a defendant that had 34 convictions for felonies and did not spend one day in jail. Never in my life. And the last time I checked, the party of law and order is the only one that decided that they would be out of order and decided to nominate someone who was not only indicted but was actually convicted of multiple felonies. That has never happened in this country, and it is a shame that we are dealing with it now, and now he wants to tell y'all how to do your jobs.
Where he makes it a point to go after Texas Rep. Jasmine Crockett.
He ain't worth a damn. That's not your job. Anybody can do that. You're supposed to be figuring out a way to get things done. And when it comes to this president, that egotistical, maniacal tendencies that he has, everything is about Trump, where every cabinet member and everybody and their grandmama got a fawn all over him before they speak. I mean, these people, before they say hello, they say, I just want to say we have a great president. He's such a great leader. I love him so much. He's so wonderful. He's so marvelous. He's the leader we need. I mean, they do this every day because it's damn near a requirement when it comes to him. And I understand it. I can't stand it, but I see it. But the flip side to it is that he's a deal maker. And if you figure out a way to make him look good in any way, quid pro quo is something he lives by. He'll reciprocate. If you know that, why you can't figure it out?
Excuse me, sir? You mean the same Congress that's being hijacked by people defending a man with 34 felony convictions and an insurrection under his belt? That's who she's supposed to work with? See, Stephen A. doesn't understand that not every system deserves respect, especially when the system itself is broken. He's still out here thinking that politics is like ESPN. You just perform loud enough, make a few deals, and everyone claps. Nope, this isn't First Take. This is real life. And what really annoys me is how comfortably he leans into that respectability politics lane. Because when he publicly goes after someone like Jasmine Crockett, who's bold, articulate, and unapologetically black, he gives certain people permission to feel less racist while agreeing with him. That's what happens when you play that good Negro role on national TV. And I'm sorry, but it's giving bootlicker energy. He's not analyzing systems. He's not breaking down policy. He's just performing outrage for clicks, pretending to be neutral while low-key validating the same structures that harm people who look like him. And this isn't new behavior. He's always been quick to chastise black excellence when it doesn't fit into his comfort zone. He'll go after Michelle Obama, a woman whose very presence radiates grace and composure, as if he even has a molecule of that dignity in him. He constantly criticizes LeBron James, and worse, he goes after LeBron's son, talking about that boy's career in the most classless, unkind way. Now, I'll admit, I have my own issues with LeBron using nepotism and ego to push his son into a league he wasn't ready for. But the way Stephen does it, it's cruel, it's vicious. There's no empathy in his tone, just arrogance. He's so eager to tear down legacies, especially black ones. One day, it's LeBron. Now, it's Jasmine Crockett. And before that, it was Serena Williams. Remember when Serena joined Kendrick Lamar for the Super Bowl, and Stephen decided to insert himself into her marriage, questioning her loyalty to her husband, suggesting she still had hang-ups about Drake?
Stephen A is saying if he was in that situation and now he's married, he's not allowing none of that's happening.
Hold on, no.
That's what he said.
If I'm married and my wife is going to join trolling her ex, go back to his ass. Because clearly you don't belong with me. What you worried about him for and you with me?
I gotta get that lick back.
Stephen A,
Go ahead,
Stop it. Stop it.
What?
Stop it, Stephen A.
This is true.
If you with Serena Williams, you gonna be a kept man anyway. Don't start that.
Really?
You ain't gonna run the house. You're not gonna wear the pants.
You know about that?
You sure about that? Question?
You sure about that?
Hold on.
He's hilarious. He said you're going to be a kept man.
Ohanian. Yeah.
Okay.
I
think Alex is doing pretty well. You know, he found Reddit. And he's so ready for a good summer change. I think he okay.
Yeah, he gonna
like I said, I know Alex.
Hold on. Dio got something to say. Dio got something to say. Go ahead, Dio. You got something to say?
Stop.
He's raised his hand. We got to hear from Dio.
I want to hear this one.
Well, also too, Stephen A. Smith, I think you had some marriage advice for me. Is that right? Or
Well, you know what? Listen, I didn't. People, headlines are headlines. We can get into that another time, but I was
hoping you were going to be here.
I am not qualified. Married? Right. Oh no, not me. Well, I ain't qualified, my brother. I'm not qualified.
I was going to ask because you hadn't been married before, right?
I am married.
No, Stephen.
Hasn't.
Okay. Yeah, because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies. And the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies. Yeah. So I generally try to stay in my lane as advice
Then we'll talk marriage advice later. I'm going 13 years strong. We got you. Alexis, thank you so much. Athlos NYC 2-night event in New York. Incredible. Can't wait to watch. I'm looking for a Tiffany's crown.
Now, that's the kind of getting on we like to see. Serena Williams' husband checking Stephen A. Smith about the comments he made about Serena Williams dancing at Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime performance. He had that man stuttering. But let's start with what Stephen A. Smith originally had to say about Serena Williams dancing with Kendrick Lamar.
I'm married, and my wife is going to join trolling her ex. Go back to his ass, because clearly you don't belong with me.
And the thing about Stephen A. Smith is that he always got something to say. He always got smoke when it comes to women. But now, the woman's man came to you as a man and you was stuttering. You don't want to press him like you was pressing Jasmine Crockett the other day. You don't want to press him like how you tried to press First Lady Michelle Obama the other day. What happened? Matter of fact, You don't want to talk about him like you was talking about Bronny James and got mad because his father had to step in? The silence is loud.
Crazy work. But the second her white husband checked him, he backed down and folded like cheap paper. That right there shows you everything. He's all bark, no bite. Loud for attention, quiet when confronted. He's mastered the art of sounding confident while saying absolutely nothing of value. You can't be the loudest man in the room and still be the most uninformed. That's not power, that's ego. And that's what Stephen A. runs on. Ego, attention, the illusion of authority. But let's also be real. He's a loudmouth grifter. He's watching the success that other black grifters like Candace Owens and Officer Tatum are getting, and he wants a piece of it. The problem? That grift is almost up. Candace might hang around a bit longer, but let's be honest. She's married to a white man, and her wealth circulates back into that space. She's not seen as a threat. She's an accessory to the system. They don't need another loud black face right now, not when the racists and fascists already feel emboldened enough to say the quiet part out loud. They don't need a mask anymore. And Stephen, he's loud, but he's not articulate. He wears a suit, but he's not fooling anybody. He couldn't dribble, and he's not smart or well-read enough to navigate politics. So, go to the bench, Stephen, and stay there. Let's be honest. ESPN knows his act is getting old. Sports fans are tired of the theatrics. So now he's trying to pivot, talking politics, inviting controversial figures like Ben Shapiro and Riley Gaines on his show for balance. Translation? He's chasing controversy to stay relevant. And it's working. In the worst way. Because at this point, Stephen A. Smith has become the type of guy who's more concerned with brand recognition than integrity. The same guy who thinks quid pro quo is just another gameplay and objectivity means selling out your community for views. He doesn't uplift. He undermines. He doesn't educate. He entertains. And that would be fine if he actually knew his lane. But see, when you start caping for people like Trump while calling out black women for having a voice, that's when you reveal what side you're really on. Stephen A. is not a truth teller. He's a talker, a loud one at that. So, here's my take. The next time Stephen A. Smith feels the urge to lecture someone on professionalism or learning how to maneuver, he should first learn how to shut up and read a policy brief. Because no amount of yelling can disguise ignorance. Anyway, guys, that's a wrap. If you like my vibe, go ahead and subscribe. And let me know in the comments, do you think Stephen A. really believes what he says, or is he just playing the role to stay relevant? Until the next video, bye.